What is the biggest tragedy and source of greatest misery that has ever befallen on the Palestinian people? The answer is unequivocal. The greatest tragedy that has ever happened to the Palestinian people is the belief that was inflicted on them that Israel will disappear, that Israel is not real, that Israel somehow is going to vanish one day. That is the source of all Palestinian suffering. And this tragedy is now being afflicted not only on people in the Middle East, but on young minds around the world. Think about the Nakba, the tragedy that they speak about. In 1948, they call the establishment of the State of Israel the Nakba, the tragedy. Why do they call it a Nakba? Because hundreds of thousands of Palestinians were told by Palestinian nationalists to leave their homes, to leave the country, and they were told that Israel will be destroyed in war within a few days. They'll be able to come back. And so they left, and they were never able to come back. Had they not taken that belief, had they not accepted that poison, that Israel would somehow disappear, they would still be in their homes. The same was true in 1967 when all these different armies came to war with Israel. They thought somehow Israel's going to disappear. The same is true for the Egyptian army. 1973, 30,000 Egyptian soldiers killed in a war on Israel, the Yom Kippur War. They thought they're going to win. They lost really, really badly. The Palestinians were offered statehood in the Oslo Accords by President Bill Clinton again and again and again and again, but always what? Always the belief that somehow Israel's not real. On October 7th, so many of the wicked terrorists that came into Israel came with the belief that somehow Israel's going to disappear, so much so that some of them were dividing up the land and saying, you'll get this part, I'll get that part. The same is happening now around the world. Young minds poisoned, thinking, oh, Israel's going to disappear one day. There once upon a time was a country called Palestine, and it's going to reappear. No, Israel is not going anywhere. If Palestinians want a state of their own, they need to show the world that they're able to sustain a civil society, a society that doesn't shoot rockets out of hospitals or pay terrorists for killing people. They could have a state, and they should have if they're able to live up to standards of civility, peace, and recognizing Israel's rights. But the problem is that's never going to happen. You know why it's never going to happen? Because they're told that somehow Israel's disappearing. And if you think that you marching and screaming chants that you don't even fully understand, like from the river to the sea, or something that says that Israel's going to disappear, you are part of the problem that's hurting the Palestinian people. It's not going to hurt the Israelis. The Israelis have their homes, they have their fields, they have their jobs, they have their cities. It's not going to make a difference if you chant on your little campus or in high school or wherever you may be. It's going to make a difference for Palestinians because it's going to feed the poisonous illusion that has brought so much death and destruction on Palestinians. The illusion that somehow Israel's going to disappear. Israel's not going anywhere. And when you chant those chants, you're only further causing harm. So if you want peace, if you wish well on the Palestinians, I have a simple suggestion for you. Tell them to understand Israel is here to stay. Make sure you understand Israel is here to stay. And if they want a state, it begins with recognizing that Israel and Israelis are not going anywhere.